Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Becoming You podcast. If you are catching this on YouTube, because we are now starting to post all our podcast episodes as videos as well on YouTube's, you will get to see my lovely, lovely hair. I'm getting lots of new hair growth. By the way, this is not today's topic. I'm already starting off on a tangent. And it's been raining like cats and dogs today, and my hair does not like humidity, and I have stuff sticking up everywhere. So if you want to laugh, go ahead and check me out on YouTube. And if you hear some heavy breathing, it is my dog Cosmo in the background sneezing and breathing. Anyway, welcome to a brand new episode. I wanted to record you guys a really fun episode of the types of people you need in your life. And I have about 10 listed here. So let's just call this episode 10 types of people you need in your life. So before we get started on the types of people you need, let's talk about who you don't need, okay? If you have people that are negative, that are doubters, that are naysayers, that are criticizers, that are Debbie Downers, and when you interact with them, they suck the energy out of you. They deplete your energy. You leave their vortex feeling lower than when you first entered. It is time to cut these people lovingly out of your life. Now, I'm not talking about someone who might be going through a tough period and might need your support. That is not the type of person I'm talking about. The type of people I'm talking about are the friends who gossip, right, all the time. Like, they love gossiping and they don't see that it's harmful. They see it as harmless fun, okay? Let's cut those people out. What about the people that are always talking about the news, right? They consume the news, they love the news, and they're always focused on all the things that are going wrong in life. And they're worriers, right? The people who tend to worry, oh my God, they worry about everything. And they're the first ones to think about what could go wrong. Let's cut those people out of our life. And this might sound a little bit harsh, but the types of people you surround yourself with is so essential to how you live your own life. They have done scientific research to show that we are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And some of those people, we don't get a choice, like our spouses. Hopefully, we've made some good choices, right? And our kids and work people. Like, when you filter those out, we don't have very many like people left in our life. So we really want to be mindful of who we allow into our energetic bubble, because not only do we have to feed ourselves plenty of things that give us energy, we don't want anything to be sucking away at that energy. Trust me, we do plenty of things every day that deplete our energy through our habits, through our thoughts. And so one of the choices that we do have is to clean up the people that we have in our life. So we have to be really mindful of like the mentors and the friends and the relationships we have. And because our energy and our time are very, very, very important because they affect our life, right? And so our energy is affected by the people we spend time with. So I just want you to understand that you have full permission to draw boundaries to the people that have access to your time and your energy. And if you know, like I know a lot of you know, that it's time to end a relationship with someone, but yet we continue those relationships because we feel really bad. There's a really deep sense of loyalty. We feel like, again, we feel bad about cutting these people out of our life because they've been in our life forever. And we might start to feel like it's sort of your duty to maintain this relationship, because who would you be otherwise, right? So there's a lot of discomfort that comes with questioning whether a relationship is worth maintaining, because there's a sense of loyalty and a sense of duty. And we think, if you're a good person, like, you just don't do that. But I have been someone who has cut people out of my life, not in a mean way, but I've realized that the path that I'm on in my life versus the path this person's on is just not matched. And so there's no point in holding on to that relationship. So we have lovingly cut the cord and let these people go so they can be on their merry way to wherever they want to go, and I can be on my way to where I want to go. And we're not dragging either No one's holding anyone back, and there's no resentment there, right? Okay, so let's get stuck into the topic today. The first type of person you need in your life is what I call a space holder. What is a space holder? This is a person that you can let yourself just be completely yourself, especially when you are breaking down, when you're falling apart. And this person can hold space for you. Basically, create an environment where they let you be yourself without wanting to fix anything or judge what you're going through. It is so important that you have a person like this. Non-judgmental is key to this person. So I have a very dear friend that I met about a year and a half ago through my breathwork certification program, and she is a space holder for me and I'm a space holder for her. We meet on Zoom every single week, and we let each other just talk whatever might be going on in our life, whether that's something we're celebrating, whether that's like causing us challenges in our life, whether we're feeling bad, whether we're feeling depressed, whether we're falling apart, whether we're aggravated, whatever it might be. We just let each other talk. And I cannot tell you how good it feels to have that kind of a person to hold space for you, and to know that this person will not judge you no matter what. Like whatever might come out of your mouth, you know this person is a safe space. They're not going to judge you. It's not going to come back to bite you. And this person just lovingly holds you, lets you feel safe in sharing whatever you want to share. So get yourself one of these people, because they are so good for your soul. Number two, it's what I call the expander. This is the person that inspires you and makes you want to be better than yesterday. And they're the person that shows you what's possible in life. So you might have different expanders for different aspects of your life, right? So you might have a friend who's super fit, who might be an expander when it comes to your health and body. You might have an expander when it comes to money, right? Like this person doesn't know they're my expander, but I have an expander when it comes to money. And I watch this person and how they handle money and how they spend money, how they manage money, and just their general attitude and relationship with money. I find it so inspiring. And so this person is an expander for me when it comes to money, because they show me that there is a different way to think about money and use money and spend money. Like it doesn't have to come from a place of lack and scarcity. And this person models for me what it feels like to be abundant and overflowing with money. So ask yourself, who is my expander? And if this person isn't, like, you don't have what I call a real person, right? Like you've never met them. Like it can be someone you've never met face to face. This can be someone you follow on maybe on social media. And some of the things that I'm giving you an example, a lot of these people don't even know that they play this role in my life, but I follow them on social media. But this is the role they fill for me. Right. Number three, you need a believer in your life. This is the person who completely believes in you and your abilities when you don't even believe in yourself. Now, some of these roles might overlap, right? But it's really important that you have someone in your life that's like, when you think you can't do it, like you believe in them. So this is, if you're a parent, for your children, you are the believer, right? Because we believe in our kids. Like the other day, I took my son rock climbing. It was like an indoor rock climbing place. And he was halfway up one of the things that he was climbing on. And then he was like, I'm done. I'm really scared. And the instructor who was there holding the safety rope was like, okay. And I was like, no. I was like, we do not quit. I was like, he wasn't really terrified of heights, but I think he just got tired. His arms got tired. So he was like, I'm so tired. Like, I want to come down. And I was there and I was like, nope, I believe in you. Like, I know that you can make it to the top. Like, one more step, like, one more step. And I was there coaching him and guiding him, and he got to the top. And I realized as I'm making this podcast episode that for my kids, I am their believer. Like, whatever they believe they can do or whatever dream they have, I 100% believe that they can do it, and I help them believe in themselves, and I see in them their abilities, and their strengths before they see it for themselves. So make sure that you have somebody like that in your life who believes in you. And this is my coach, like my business coach. Anytime, like every coach that I've ever had, yes, it's an investment in myself because I pay them in a way to help me see that I can do it, right? They reflect back to me when I start questioning or doubting or starting to give up on myself. They hold that belief up for me. They hold a mirror up and say, I believe that you can do it. Like, I know you've done these sort of things in the past. They help draw out examples of when they've achieved the things that I think are impossible or hard. And it's worth every penny, because what happens is when we have family or friends, right? Sometimes our own history gets in the way and their own doubts gets in the way. Like if you are reaching for something, like let's say my endurance event, right? 29029. I know my husband and my kids believed in me. Of course, they were there on the mountain, and seeing them believe in me drove me harder. But when it comes to other things in life, like building my business, right? There are so many instances where I doubt myself. And because of our own insecurities as a family when it comes to building a business, my husband can't always hold the self-belief that I want him to hold for me. And it's not fair of me to put that pressure on him. Like, if I don't believe in myself, then how do I expect him to believe in me, right? But when you pay for a coach, they hold that belief because they fully trust in the process. They've done this work, and they help you believe in yourself. All right. So number 4, you want a healer in your life. And I have had the privilege of having so many of these. So over the course of like the last 5 years, I have probably worked with, I don't know, people who channel, psychics, sound healers, Reiki healers, energy healers, um, so many. Like I right now work with a therapist, and I've worked with like a masseuse, acupuncturist, obviously normal doctors, right? It's so essential to have a crew of healers, because ultimately we are here to do the work of healing in our life. I believe the human experience is essentially about learning to love and healing. That's it. If you boil it all down and ask, what is the meaning of life? You are here to learn to love, like, and receive unconditional love and be love. And the only way we can do that is through the work of healing ourselves, the internal healing, which then leads to the external healing. So I cannot say enough things about surrounding yourself with healers. All right, number 5, you want a supporter. This is the people or person that cheer you on endlessly and celebrate the heck out of you without any jealousy or without comparison or without resentment, right? So when we talk about siblings, like your siblings, and you might be super close where you have this relationship, but sometimes when it comes to siblings, there can be jealousy and resentment just because that's how sibling relationships are. They're usually filled with rivalry. But get yourself a supporter. And so for me, the space holder is my supporter, right? The friend that I talked about who I met through my breathwork facilitation program, she celebrates the crap out of me, and I celebrate the crap out of her. There's just no competition. There's no jealousy. There's no comparison. There's no feeling of, oh my gosh, you're like ahead of me. There is none of that. So this usually comes in a form of peer, right? Like people maybe we've met in college or school that have been through thick and thin, and yeah, they support the heck out of us. They are a supporter. So make sure that you get yourself one of these. All right, a coach. This is really important. Of course, I have to have a coach on the list, right? This is a person who challenges you to the edge of who you think you are. They call you out on your BS, and they reflect back to you on all the ways that you play small in this life. This is a person who's not scared to challenge you, who's not afraid of being completely radically honest, but in a firm and loving way, right? They're not doing it to be vindictive or hurtful. They're doing it because they really want what's best for you, and they challenge you. And what, like I said, they want to challenge you to the edges of you, right? What you think you are, who you think you are, you think this is as far as I can go. And a coach will expand you beyond that, right? A coach, a really good coach, will help you reframe how you look at yourself. They challenge your beliefs and your perceptions about who you think you are. And they really shift your identity, and they shift your perspective on life, and all for good reason, right? They kind of break down your world to help you rebuild it so that that world is more reflective of your potential and of the possibilities in life. Number 7, you want an energizer. This is someone who leaves you flowing and filled up with more energy than when you first started out, before you started interacting with them, right? This person usually knows how to have a ton of fun. They make you laugh. They are someone who makes you feel better just because of who they are, right? And I don't have a person like this in real life for me. So a lot of times, there's a couple of Instagram followers that I follow that make me laugh out loud. And their stuff is inspiring, and like to see how they live their everyday life. I love that. So they are my energizers, right? Like it could be somebody, a comedian that you follow. That could be an energizer because you watch their YouTube videos for like 5-10 minutes, and they've made you laugh so hard and now you feel better, right? So that could be your energizer. All right, number 8, the spiritualist. This is a person who expands your beingness by showing you that you are part of something bigger in this world. You might call them woo woo or out there, but this is someone who believes in the metaphysical and the unseen forces of nature. This is someone who's really tapped into the higher consciousness of life. And they help you connect you to the metaphysical, right? We all want a sense of purpose, and we want to know, does my life matter? Like, am I connected to something bigger than myself? So by being connected or having a spiritualist in your field of people that you know, this might be the person who, you know, is the meditator, right? They maybe go to like moon circles for every cycle of the moon, every full moon or new moon. They might have a ceremony that they attend. They might be someone who pulls tarot cards or oracle cards to connect to, like I said, the higher consciousness beyond them, right? This might be like a psychic that, you know, somebody who can kind of sense, like an intuitive guide, or yeah, is what I call a spiritualist. And my first coach, my second coach, I should say, who's also now my current coach, is also someone who expands me spiritually. She is so tapped into the spiritual world. I'm in awe of her abilities. And she really helped me explore that world, because I thought that world was not available to me at all. I thought that happened to special people. And I wasn't one of those people. Like, I wasn't blessed with those abilities. But by working with her, I learned that we all have these intuitive abilities, and we have the ability to connect with the metaphysical world. And some people come in born, like everybody comes in born that way, right? But as children, some of us develop those abilities and we nurture them, and we are tapped in more strong than others. And for people like me, we have no idea that world exists, and then we enter it later in life. But no matter where you are, I think this is such an essential person or people to have in your life, because honestly, learning to connect in a spiritual way has helped me give my life more meaning. It's allowed me to connect to something bigger than myself, which has made me feel, like I have a purpose in life. So for some of us, this might be religious and God, right? And for people like me who's not religious, spirituality gives me that. And I've talked about the big difference between spirituality and religion before. In religion, we believe, or in religious circles, we believe that God is outside of us, and God has the power to strike us down if we do something bad, or reward us if we do something good. So the higher consciousness is really an external thing. Whereas in spirituality, um, God is within us. God is part of us, which I love, which I love. Like we all have God-like qualities. And I truly, truly believe that. And when we let the light shine and the love in, more of that godlike ability starts to pour out of us, right? But when we live in lack and scarcity, that part of us is really hard to tap into. So in spirituality, whatever practice or modality that we can tap into that allows us to connect to the God within us, like that is spirituality. All right, number 9, the adventurer. This is someone who's always up for trying new things, and they're putting themselves out there, and they're like super spontaneous. Um, yeah, I don't have this person yet. I believe I'm a bit of an adventurer, but I would love to have somebody in my life who is also an adventurer. Like I signed up for 29029 out of the blue. I'm the person who will ride roller coasters even though I'm scared. I'm always up for trying something new, and I'm someone who gets bored easily, so I have to constantly change things up in my life. All right, number 10 is a little bit of a miscellaneous one. This is actually a funny one too. I truly believe that we all need a great hairstylist. Okay, so number 10, find yourself a good hairstylist, because there is nothing like a great haircut and a great hair day that can, how good it can make you feel. And I'm also throwing this into number 10, but I think you need somebody who inspires you to get out of your comfort zone when it comes to styling, right? So fashion has become such a playful way for me to express myself these days. So I've been investing quite a bit in new pieces, and I've been playing around with the pieces that I already have in my life. And I do have one or two people that I follow for fashion inspiration, again on Instagram. And it's really expanded me. It's really allowed me to express myself and become more creative. And I love tapping into this part of me. So a great hairstylist and a fashion stylist, I think, are essential, um, especially for women, because I think that's such a great way of expressing ourselves, right? Part of our feminine power comes from expressing our beauty. And these are the two ways that I choose to express my beauty. For some, it might be skincare. For some, it might be nail care, right? But something to take care of and express our beauty in an external way. All right, so that's it for this week's episode. This was a short and sweet one, but I would love to hear from you, and let me know how many of these on your list can you identify someone like right away in your life where you're like checking off going, yep, I have one of those, I have one of those, ooh, I do not have one of those. Maybe you start to look, maybe you start to put the intention out there for a particular someone to come into your life and fill up that void, right? And I just wanted to, on a side note, I was at my son's friend's birthday party this week, and I met a mom who I've met before, but it's been a really, really long time. So we reintroduced ourselves. It turns out she listens to my podcast. And it always, always surprises me when someone tells me, oh, I listen to your podcast and I love it. I get so much out of it. I just want to let you know, for every single one of you that listen, who don't reach out to me, I don't expect you to. I just want to say thank you to each and every single one of you that take the time to give me 30 minutes or to an hour of your time every week to listen to me. That means so much to me. Like, you guys have no idea how much that means. So I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to every single one of you who take the time to listen to these episodes that I pour my heart and soul into. And if you feel like it, if you want to put in a good word for this podcast so that it can reach even more people, I would love to invite you to write a review on Apple or Google Podcast, whatever platform you listen to. If you could just take 2 minutes out of your day to write a quick review, I would be so grateful. I appreciate you so much from the bottom of my heart for doing that. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Until next week, take care. Bye.